Good evening, you're watching To The Point. I'm Preeti Chaudhary. Well, many would suggest that the Bihar election was a warm-up for the Bharatiya Janata Party. Yes, all exit polls suggested otherwise, but the NDA has won it, primarily riding on the firm shoulders of Prime Minister Modi and the Bharatiya Janata Party. And to look ahead is now the big tectonic election, which many political analysts feel is going to be as big for the BJP as was 2014 general elections. We're talking about the elections in West Bengal, where all stakeholders know that this is going to be a fight of their lives, be it the incumbent, Mamata Banerjee, looking at a third term, or be it the challenger, in this case, directly Mr. Amit Shah, who's been looking at West Bengal ever since 2014. With Bihar in the bag, it's now Mission Bengal.
देश के कुछ हिस्सों में उनको लगता है कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी के कार्यकर्ताओं को मौत के घाट उतार करके वे अपने मंसूबे पूरे कर लेंगे। मैं उन सब से आग्रहपूर्वक समझाने का प्रयास भी करता हूं। मुझे चेतावनी देने की जरूरत नहीं है, क्योंकि वो काम जनता जनार्दन करेगी।
It was a celebratory speech for winning Bihar, but was also a clarion call for West Bengal. A tectonic election, an election touted to be the BJP's biggest electoral battle.
और मौत का खेल खेल करके कोई मत नहीं पा सकता है, ये जरा दीवार पर लिखे हुए शब्द पढ़ लेना।
The Prime Minister hinting at the rising political violence in the state. The latest from Alipur, where the cavalcade of BJP leader Dilip Ghosh was attacked. However, the real violence has been laid bare by a slew of political killings in both the BJP and the TMC camp, with the BJP alleging maximum killings of their cadre at the hand of the TMC.
हर मौत के बाद, हर मृत्यु के बाद पुलिस छानबीन करता है, पोस्टमार्टम होता है, तो ये तो प्रतिष्ठा नहीं हुआ है। बीजेपी ऐसे ही कोई भी आत्महत्या करता तो उसको बोलता है कि हमारा पार्टी का कैडर है।
The charge of political killings aside, the BJP, now Mamata Banerjee's principal opposition, is giving the incumbent CM the fight of her life, and she's doing all she can to secure herself a third term as CM, taking the fight repeatedly, directly to the doorstep of the Prime Minister, on unemployment, on inflation, on the centre interfering with the state's federal structure, alleging that the centre is exploiting farmers. The TMC and Mamata Banerjee clearly feeling the heat, with the rebellion of its own senior leader, the state transport minister and close confidant of the CM herself, Suvendu Adhikari.
লড়াইয়ের মাঠে দেখা হবে, রাজনীতির মঞ্চে দেখা হবে। জয় জয় নন্দীগ্রাম, সঙ্গে আছেন তো? এই লড়াইতে মানুষ জিতবে, গণতন্ত্র জিতবে। শুভেন্দু অধিকারী ভয় পায় না।
The fact there is an upcoming political fight of a lifetime is not wasted on anyone, leave alone the incumbent or the challenger. Let the battle begin. Bureau Report, India Today. All right, joining me right now is Biswajit Tape, TMC spokesperson. In a short while from now, we'll be joined by Babul Supriyo, Union Minister from Calcutta, and BJP spokesperson as well. Just a short while from now, but let's cut across to Mr. Deb from the TMC first. Mr. Deb, appreciate you joining us. The BJP is clearly on a momentum. This is an election which they've been looking at since 2014, pretty much taking the role of the principal opposition. Where does the TMC stand, sir? Because it does seem that it has enough to worry.
There's nothing to worry so far as TMC is concerned. Because you see, TMC is looking forward for this particular election in 2021 on the basis of the development work which has been done. since the last 10 years by the government led by Mamata Banerjee. Now, so far as the violence is concerned, and regularly BJP alleging that the TMC workers have resorted to violence. Well, violence, I make it categorically clear that violence has got no place in this society. And TMC believes in peace and harmony. Now, I am sure that the authorities will look into the entire matter which has happened today, and the culprits will be apprehended. But I make it clear that there are three groups of BJP in West Bengal. There are three groups of BJP in West Bengal. One group backed by RSS, which is led by Mr. Dilip Ghosh. One is the Turncoat group, led by Mr. Mukul Roy. And one is the group led by the outsiders, led by Mr. Kailash Vijayvargiya. So let us come to the conclusion after the investigating authorities, the investigating agency, they find time to go into the entire matter, and let us then come to a logical conclusion. BJP should not jump to a conclusion right at this moment, because infighting is there in BJP, and everybody knows that most of the violences which is happening in Bengal is due to the infighting of BJP. But so far as the Trinamool Congress is concerned, just a minute, so far as the Trinamool Congress is concerned, we are only based on the development works. We are based on Kanyastree. We are based on Shabut Shati. We are based on Rupasri. We know the development work which has been done under the leadership of Mamata Banerjee since the last 10 years. And we bank upon that. And we are sure that Mamata Banerjee is going to form the government for the third term in 2021.
All
BJP
right.
has got no place in Bengal.
Okay, Mr. Deb, just stay on with me. I'm going to come right back to you in the next 4 minutes. Cutting across to Babul Supriyo as well now. He's joining us. Mr. Supriyo, appreciate you joining us. Sir, you're on a momentum for sure. You've pulled a rabbit out of the hat where exit polls were concerned, where Bihar is in question. You have a momentum going with you. But it will be a contest because you don't have a chief ministerial face. In Bihar, you had a Nitish Kumar. In Bengal, you don't. But it is Mission Bengal, and you know it's a tectonic election for the BJP.
It's not a tectonic election for BJP. It's a huge challenge for us for sure. And the challenge is not against, the democratic process. The challenge is against how democracy has been murdered in Bengal and how we can restore governance in Bengal and, noble leadership of our honorable parties. Listening to what Mr. Dev was, with due respect to him, I really don't want to get into what the government stays in power in Bengal for 10 years. Obviously, they must have some job here and there, and there is no denying about that. But what Mamata promised and what she delivered, hell and heaven in that. And what we're seeing in Bengal is not a documentary made by BJP. The state president getting attacked over and over again. All of us had our cars broken 7 to 8 times. On a very serious note, I would say that insurance companies don't want to insure our cars.
1 month your car is going to get broken down. There is a complete failure of law and order situation in Bengal, whether it is health, the way she handled Corona, the way she handled the money that was given out in Amphan, in everything. She has never come across as a chief minister of Bengal. She has always remained the Trinamool Congress Supremo, who oversees, inspires, Onuprerona word they use in Bengali, inspires, and even in her quietness, approves the political murders of, more than 125 BJP karyakartas that happened on the ground. And I would really want to thank our honorable PM from my heart, that he has imbibed that confidence in all of us, from the top, from the senior leaders to the guys on the ground level who are working for us, that yes, he is keeping an eye on Bengal. He knows everything about Bengal on a day-to-day basis, and that's why even on a celebration day for Bihar, he did not forget Bengal. He did not take names, but he gave a clear message that, that the right thing will be done for Bengal. And I'm just telling you that Mamata Banerjee is in power because of her misuse and politicization of the police and the administrative forces. BJP does not resort to violence. You have not seen that in Bihar. You have not seen that in Uttar Pradesh. You have not seen that in Madhya Pradesh. Bengal, is the only place in India today where all eyes are when there is a national election, because Mamata Didi has carried on what CPM did for 34 years, and even more brutally, even a much more corrupt manner. And we want people to vote democratically out of power in May, but let her not forget that the BJP did not do anything. She might throw 100 allegations on BJP, but the constitution in itself has several provisions in which president's rule can be imposed in a state when it violates certain guidelines that are laid out in the constitution. And we have said it several times. We have several times met the president and said that Bengal qualifies in every manner possible, whether it is the NIA catching, terrorists from Bengal, whether it is bomb explosions, whether it is, the manner in which, in everything, the corrupt ways, Bengal qualifies in every manner for president's rule. But again, having said that, we would want the people who have voted her into power, believing her vote bank politics and her promises, for them, we will ensure that they go to the polling booths and they vote her out and TMC out of Bengal in power in 2020.
I'll ask you one more question, sir, and that in terms of the political landscape, Mr. Babul Supriyo, Bengal is very different than, say, what Bihar is. On the issue of how she would be judged, one of them would be on the issue of how she's fought COVID. At least on paper, the numbers are fairly decent when you look at, the numbers across the country. On the other hand, the issue of... No, just give me a minute, sir. On the other hand, the issue of CAA, NRC is very different in Bengal, which it is in the rest of the country.
Why is it different? History stands. History lays down why the situation is different in Bengal. It is the same Mamata Banerjee, let's not forget, who 2004 had, in her book, a book written by her, in which she had written that at that point of time, the Election Commission had validated ration cards as election IDs.
Put it on her book. The book, I didn't know you were going to ask this question. It put clearly that when the number of voters in Bengal are much higher, the number of ration cards are much higher than the number of voters. And she threw papers on the speaker, which is a historic. We all know that. The video clip is very much available. And she spoke about those illegal immigrants from Bangladesh, from Pakistan. And we had Manmohan Singh talking about that. The torture, meted out to Hindus, Christians, and all other communities who are minorities in those countries. It's a different thing. The coincidence that all the countries around us are majority Muslim countries, they're Islamic republics. So CAA, why is Mamata Didi, after having used the Matuas for such a long time, why is she being so cruel to them? Let them get the Indian citizenship. They have been lying as refugees for so many years. She has used them as a vote bank, and today she is standing between their citizenship and peace when they are when they have trusted this lady and been by her side. Why are you doing this, Didi?
All right, just one quick question, Mr. Supriyo, before I let you go. Banking on the Prime Minister face, it would be Modi up against Mamata, because you really don't have a chief ministerial face going ahead. Or is there a plan to project one?
For the party to decide. It is not at all Modi ji versus Mamata ji. Bengal BJP is going to fight in their own battle under the leadership of our central. We are a national party. Therefore, our leadership is in Delhi. Mamata Didi is a regional party, but just by naming it All India Trinamool Congress doesn't make it as All India party. Therefore, her ploys to call it a Hindi party and all of that, a non-Bengali party to BJP does not hold ground, because we are a national party. We are going to have leaders from Delhi who are going to guide us through that election in Bengal. And come 2021, you are going to see a BJP government in Bengal which is going to respect the federal structure and is going to work in harmony with the central government and not keep on passing the buck the way Mamata Banerjee has treated people in Bengal.
Well, Mr. Supriyo, we'll only know the result when that last vote is counted, but one thing is for sure, that it is going to be a fascinating election to cover and possibly even to fight and campaign. Appreciate you joining us. I want to go back to Mr. Deb for a quick word in. Mr. Deb, appreciate you. Thank you for waiting in. Sir, you were talking about that there are three groups right now where the BJP is concerned, working against the TMC. My question to you...
First of all, let me clarify one thing.
Yes.
That whatever Mr. Supriyo was saying right now regarding 2021 and that BJP will be forming the government, it's nothing else but a daydream. They don't have a chief ministerial face. It's a fight between Modi ji and Mamata Banerjee.
Sir, but then we've seen in the past,
There
Mr.
is, there is
Dev.
no case. There is
But
no
sir,
case.
we've seen, I'm sorry to come in, but we've seen in the past that the BJP has fought election on Mr. Modi's name and won without a chief ministerial face. Many examples.
They are just banking upon Modi ji. They don't have a face. They don't have any organization in Bengal. They have nothing. And they are only, their only false publicity and false propaganda is the only issue they are banking upon. You see, regarding CAA, right now I was hearing Mr. Supriyo. Right now I was also hearing him regarding the Motuas. You see, there is nothing new about it.
Okay.
Everybody is a citizen. Everyone is a
Fair
citizen.
enough. But Mr. Dev, what about your very own? Sir, I want to ask you one quick question. One quick question.
Yes,
what
please.
about your very own? Your own transport minister right now is talking against your own government. He's pretty much, used to be one of a close...
He has never made any public statement against the government.
Okay.
He's still a minister.
Okay.
He's still a minister in the government.
Okay, so, all right,
He's still a minister. He's still in the party. He has not left the party. So there is no point in making these issues. You see, we are based on development. The issue is, in the month of December, already Mamata Banerjee has announced that 16,500 tech examinees, they will be recruited. The recruitment process has already started. We are on the course of development. We don't bank upon all these issues and all these false commitments which BJP had made earlier. You see, where is the 15 lakh rupees which is to be deposited in the bank account of the poor people? Where is the 2 crore job per year? Where is his commitment? We are waiting to see that.
Okay.
It was in the year 2014 and this is 2020. These false promises will not work. Bengal is a very hot soil and the people of Bengal, they understand. They understand everything.
All right.
Division of the people, trying to divide the people on the basis of caste and religion will not work in Bengal.
All right, Mr. Dev, we'll only know what the Bengali voter decides when that last vote is counted in the next 5 months from now. But like I said earlier, it's going to be a fascinating election to cover and to watch out for. Many would suggest a tectonic election after 2014 would be the election in West Bengal. Appreciate both you gentlemen for joining us. Slipping into a quick break. Up next is Rahul Kanwal.